You all set?
I'm all set.
Tell you what, we'll do a little bit of magic and we'll find out about this ancient history that's affiliated with magic. Okay? It's all yours.
Good morrow, my good lords and ladies. I am Payne, jongleur extraordinaire, and here shall you witness magics. But rest assured, good and fine folk, that all that you are about to see this day is accomplished through natural means, from the nimbleness of my fingers and the slowness of your eyes. So sit back and see all that you are about to see. Now, being a jongleur is what I am, and skilled in all manners of things, I traverse the countryside both far and wide. And on my travels, I did chance to encounter a young student of Calais who was wont to inform me in the teachings of Aristotle and his great truths. He told me that Aristotle, in his infinite wisdom, surmised that all things in this world must come to an end, except rope. It has two, one on each side. Now, Aristotle also surmised that if you took a pair of scissors and sheared off one end, you would then be left with a cord with only one end. And if you were to shear that end off, you would be left with a cord with no ends and just the middle. So says Aristotle. But again, by following the teachings of that great Greek sage, we find the very center of the rope. It's right there. Thank you. Now, by bringing the center of the rope and severing it thusly, we are then left with two completely equal lengths of cord. Well, I must confess, my good lords and ladies, this is the part of the teachings that I was asleep at and I didn't quite learn it. But fear not, for I shall endeavor to change the situation. For how many people here would like to see me restore these two lengths of cord back to their former self? Very good. Well, I aim to please, so watch closely as you see for the first time the amazing severed and restored rope trick. Prepare to be amazed. There we go. I never said I was a good jongleur. No, I know that you are disappointed in this. You don't like the knot there, do you? No. Would you like the knot better, say, if it were here? Yeah. How about here? Oh, that's fine. What if we take it all the way off, just like so, and thus give us a completely restored length of cord? Thank you. Now, one last jape shall I perform for thee on this morrow, for it is truly a wondrous thing to behold. But the assistance I do need of a young maiden from our audience. Wouldst thou be so kind as to assist me in my last magical endeavor? Very good. Would you stand right here, please? And what is thy name? Barbara. Barbara, that's a very pretty name, Barbara. Now, I pray that thou art of strong intestinal fortitude, for you see, this day we perform the horrible, the insidious, the unspeakable ram's bladder trick. Yes. Barbara, dost thou know what this is? Of course not. This is a ram's bladder torture device. What I intend to do this day is to inflate a ram's bladder in the orifice of the ram's bladder torture device. I then will take this, the ram's bladder torture implement, and thrust it through the ram's bladder without causing perforation or deflation. Now, Barbara, would you please hang on to the ram's bladder torture device by the handles, by the handles. Now, my good lords and ladies, does anyone here have a ram's bladder I may borrow? No? No, fear not, fear not. It will be returned to you safely. I will not damage your ram's bladder at all. No, fear not. If you think that your ram's bladder is too large, my device does disassemble. Therefore, I can clamp it about the ram's bladder thusly. No, sorry. 'Tis a disappointment indeed, for this was my truly wondrous trick, but if I have not a ram's bladder, there's... Fear not, we shall improvise. I'm so glad you showed up this day, Barbara. We now... Would you step out here just a little bit? Very good. Now we place the formerly ram's bladder, now Barbara, torture device about Barbara's neck. You're welcome. Aren't you so glad you wrote for free tickets today? Yes, now, what we do is we clamp you in securely, just like so. Now, Barbara, remember those handles on either side of the device. Hang onto them and keep the device level at all times. This is of the utmost importance. Now, we take the formerly rammed bladder, now Barbara torture implement. Place it inside the Barbara torture device. Now, Barbara, can you feel the blade? You can. Good. This is truly an amazing feat of magical prestidigitation. Watch. 1, 2. 3 weeks ago I did this. The blade came out the ear. It was really a mess. So, but don't worry. I'm sure everything's going to go through okay. I hope so. Very good, very good. Just like so. Ready? 1, 2. Ah! Now don't move. You can applaud. Thank you. Yeah, don't move, because that's the easy part. The hard part's bringing it back out. But we're going to try. Ready? 1, 2, 3. The hard part's bringing it back out, but we're going to try. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ah! Swallow hard. Sometimes that helps. Just. All right, back out. None the worse for the wear. Let's give Barbara a big round of applause. Thank you.
Barbara, was it Barbara? Barbara? Can you say ah? Oh, she's in good shape. Okay. No suits. Okay, good. Hey, you were fantastic, Payne. Thank you. Just give us a little, sort of a little idea as to why you put yourself in the 1300s and why magic at that time.
It was a period where I really liked the outfits. They were a lot flashier. That's basically the reason, but I also perform at several Renaissance fairs, and that covers both the medieval and the Renaissance fairs. I perform at Camlin Fair, and that's set in the 1370s, and that's real close.
And the Camlin Fair happens, what, every August in Carnation?
Every August in Carnation.
Okay, so and that's a great medieval fair with all kinds of things about the weapons and the cooking and the lifestyle. So if you want to see Payne Fifield in action again, Camlin Fair, Carnation in August. Thank you so much. That was terrific, Barbara. The check is in the mail. And more of good company for you right after this. Stay with us.
But whose idea of working is having fun. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome Payne Fifield.
Good morrow, my good lords and ladies. I am Payne, jongleur extraordinaire, and from Camlin Fair I have come to play before you here in this most wondrous hall. Now before you I have a piece of knight's livery, crest of his device that he wears upon the field that I won in what he perceived to be a game of chance. Now, may I have the assistance of a woman from the audience to aid me? And you, madam, could you just grasp this handkerchief and make a silken cord out of it? Just twirl it around so it'll be more workable. Now I have here 2 matching pieces of cord. Well, nearly one is very long and one is very short. Now, which one of these do you prefer? The long one. Very good. Would you take and tie that handkerchief right about there in a very loose knot just around the long handkerchief, indeed. There. Just a little tighter so it doesn't slide. Very little tighter. Very good. Very, very good. Now, we will show everyone what has transpired here. You will notice the handkerchief is tied about the long cord. We'll show the short cord right next to it. Now, what we're going to do is just to merely take and spin the long cord around the short cord. Now, would you just blow this latch? And we'll see if magic can truly happen today and cause the handkerchief to jump. Now, a wondrous jape do I possess this day. In truth, it is a small wonder, but it is the first feat that my master ever did teach unto me. Now, my master, a French jongleur by the name of Nesro, did tell unto me that he had chanced to encounter in the Shire of Calais a woman who could spin fine silk from common eggs. Now, this tale I did doubt, but he did show unto me a piece of cloth wove of this woman's spinnings, and did tell me that if one were to merely wave it up and down, that the cloth would grow small, this being the properties of egg silk. Now, in truth, I watched this wonder most closely, and it appeared to me that my master was merely stuffing the cloth into his left hand. This he did deny, saying that if you took finely milled eggshell and sprinkled it over the top, the cloth would return to its former self and become an egg. Now, my good lords and ladies, I shall teach unto you this self-same trick that I just showed. For you see, this is not a true egg. This is a mock egg. It is fashioned from wood. You can obtain these from fowlers. They are laid by decoy birds. Now, in truth, this egg is hollow, and therein lies the secret. For you see, that is where the cloth truly went, stuffed secretly inside the egg under the pretext of making it small. Now, to perform this joke, place the egg and the cloth inside your tabard. Then relate unto the audience a story of how you can spin silk from eggs, or any other story you may contrive. Then withdraw the silk and wave it about, and when all eyes are upon it, secretly take out the egg, trying to look as natural as possible, holding it in a magic hold. Now, under the pretext of making the cloth grow small, stuff the cloth into the back of the egg, and the magic will happen very, very shortly. For you secure it very tightly in the egg, reach inside your tabard for a bowl, and wave it about, and the magic has transpired, and the egg has taken shape. Now, many people are probably wondering what purpose the bowl serves. Well, that is so that when somebody wishes to examine the egg, one can crack it open and put it in. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Privy Master Fifield, that were pretty great.
Oh, thank you indeed.
You perform with the Camlin Medieval Fair.
Yes, I do.
And that goes on every weekend through August, 3 miles north of Carnation?
3 miles north of Carnation. 2 more weekends. The 25th is the last day. We don't run Labor Day this year. Magical Strings will be out there this weekend, so that'll be a fine group to come see.
Okay, well, thank you for being